Cheers, everybody. Welcome to episode 269 of the Michigan Bros Grow Show. Who's got it? It's not the Chiefs. It's definitely the Eagles. Russ is happy. Who's got some money on this game? Not me, because I don't care either.
I also saw that the Eagles were green and white.
I just realized I got an eagle on my shirt. So,
So there you go. Eagles fan for the day.
yes.
How you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you
Good.
doing?
How are you guys?
I'm tired.
Good.
That's what I am. I'm fucking tired.
Good.
But it's good to be here. Hi, guys.
Got some Donnie Burger that we got from Cycling Forge. We popped that pack and got one female. And it's,
Whoa, one out of how many?
what was it? I don't remember. 5
A
or 6.
lot.
10, 12, 15?
But it's like Big describes it pretty well with like a sweet Donnie Burger. It's like it's Donnie Burger, but it's just like not as funky. It's a little bit sweet. It's so good. It's so potent.
Yeah.
It's been making me sleepy.
I just want to say he tried to hold that up to the microphone after he smelled it. And I just want to invent that smell cast.
Smell-o-vision. We've been wanting that for so long in this.
Somebody needs to invent it one of these days. It'll probably be Elon Musk.
We need a terpometer for fucking YouTube.
Yeah. It's not trimmed, so I'm finger trimming it.
It's nice and easy, though.
Nice. That nug meat looks nice, man. Look at that little tiny foxtail-y type.
Yep. It's just very GMO-y. Grew like where it circles up the stalk. It grows kind of like that.
So it's pretty solid, like density. Is it pretty like what's the word I'm looking for? Like consistent density throughout the top. Like let's say like 12, 18 inches or so, or what?
I am going to say I'm going to go on my Instagram and I'm going to find it. I'll just show
I
you.
can pull it up.
Okay.
Yeah, share it. No, yeah, either way.
All right, let me
It'd be better if you just shared it.
home profile. There we go. So in this screen, the very first one, I think. Percent. Share screen. A lot of steps to just.
Oh, I beat you.
Okay. I was like one away. Yeah, that's the one. So let me think. Yeah, that's it right there.
Dang, look at that. Yeah, that's some serious dog meat all the way up.
Mm-hmm. Looks beautiful.
There's a couple of those, and this one might be the Dirty Taxi. This whole video is Dirty Taxi, and then
Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on some of that.
the Donnie. And this is where we had the under canopy lighting too, and I was showing look, these are the lowers. These are ones literally a couple inches from the lights. You can see.
Very nice.
I feel like
Oh,
Dirty
yeah, dude.
is a very distinct smell, like when it's referenced. But I've never been in a taxi, so I'm not that sure.
And this is
Ah,
on this Dirty Taxi right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez, dude. With the thickness. Look at those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's every single one is vendable nug, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're a believer. We only have those lights. There's 2 of them down there. But we only have them on under one light, so it's in one 4x4.
So you didn't move them at all or anything?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. Are they on the same 12-12 schedule or?
yep. They just ran the exact same as what was going on above.
How did it look in the tables next to it that might have gotten a little bit of cross lighting from the underway? You know what I mean? Like just how they do from the top?
Yeah, the ones right to the right might have been a little bit big. That was also Dirty Taxi, actually. And then maybe a little Rainbow Monk on the backside. But I didn't see like a huge bit of splash over. We're honestly thinking that we could probably get away with just one underneath.
Really?
So, yeah, that's what we were thinking. We haven't run that yet, but we might try that.
So one of the things I'm looking for as this video plays now is the lights, especially the fan leaves, twisting to turn towards the lower lights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The plant will find a way to get wherever it's getting the more light from.
Yeah, that's how you know there's enough intensity below it that it's worth flipping that leaf over to capture the those photons from the bottom versus just whatever's coming from the top, even at the lower portion of the canopy. Obviously, it's not going to happen at the top or like where this scrog net is or really anywhere close to that. But, you know, depending on the intensity that you put down there, I could really start seeing some of these fan leaves just going from this to, whoa, what's down there, you know?
We really, I mean, you can see we cleaned out probably more than what we needed. We probably could have left more on the plant and maybe even had more, you know, left more bud sites, maybe get more yield out of it. Still a learning.
Just for like a denser canopy, you mean?
Yeah, like to get more, just more yield, because the stuff that where we took off, we thought, well, we're taking that off because it's not going to, you know, fill in or do anything. But
but look at what you got here, man. Yeah, you're right. You probably could fill out that canopy a little bit more, and you know what? And which really just means you could probably push the intensity overall of the entire room a little bit further. The way these are producing at that level, if you're going to put more vegetative material in there to turn into flower, you're probably going to have to, you know, to expect the same results at this level on every nug site, you'd have to kind of increase really everything across the board, whether it's the photons, the CO2, the inputs like the you know, nutrients, the water. But yeah, you push these things to the max. These look phenomenal, man.
Oh, thank you. And then it's honestly, we did the, you know, the thing where you're not supposed to do it. We changed a couple things at once. We not only did we add those under canopy, but we changed the lighting above from the Scorpions, the HLG Scorpions, to the GML Voyager lights. And then we ran them at two different light schedules. On one side, that side, we ran HPS spectrum after this bolt was over, after stretch was over. And then we finished with some blue. No, we didn't finish. Yeah, we did finish a couple days in heavy blue spectrum. The other side, we just, what we call the checkerboard spectrum, was just 50-50, 50 HPS, 50 metal halide. We ran that the whole time. And so we had a lot of variables, I guess. But
now, if I've got a question for you now that we're talking, I guess, variables. So we're less than 9 weeks away from Hash Bash Cup. Everything I have in my flower room, it's in flower, right? Like anything I put in now is not going to be ready in time, whether that's especially for flower, but even extracts I'd be probably chopping early to like get it to the counter, you know, and I don't really want to do that. But everything I have in flower is, you know, it's timed right and everything. But I was thinking, and I don't need to be changing up variables right now, you know what I mean? But I was thinking, like, what if we just swap to 11-13, a little bit longer night schedule, but actually turned up those lights that I haven't been using at 100%, and maybe try to get, you know, ram some more photons down their throat in an 11-hour period, and then give them a 13-hour period of rest. I've done this before, and I haven't really noticed that much of a difference in results, whether it's volume or total flowering period or anything like that. But for some reason, that has come back in the back of my head, and it's itching. Like, try it. Try it. You guys got any experience with that?
Yeah, I've tried it before, and the idea behind it that I heard at the time was from DJ Short, I believe, and he says that it helps the strains, especially the longer flowering strains like hazes, things like that, to more genetically express their differences. The difference is the thing that makes them different, I guess, will stick out more given less light. The downside of it is it's like a pheno hunting technique, or for breeding. It's not so much something like for yield, because you're going to lose yield because, of course, less light, less yield. So, and I don't know that.
Here's the question, though. Is it less light if I turn up the intensity and match the DLI, say, in 11 versus 12, right?
Well, my opinion then is like, what's the difference? You've done two things to get to the same place.
Yeah, well, I'm just not using my lights to the full potential, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because you're also hitting your plants with higher intensity. than what you are now.
Right.
Turn them up.
And I'll be honest, they are about, actually, I just turned one side of my room about an hour and a half ago. I just turned one side of my room down 10%. It was at 85%. I turned it back down to 75% because I've got one lime skunk in there out of a very large sea of green of different plants that is right under one of those lights, and it is very light green. It is lime like a lime skunk should be, but it's day 28 or something, you know what I mean? So it's like shouldn't be that light lime green right now. And it's sisters that went into the room, got transplanted at the same time, got cloned at the same time, grew up at the same time, all went into the flowering room at the same time. They all look fine, but it's just, and they're all under individual lights, you know, but it's just this one that is just eating up that nitrogen too quick. And I honestly think it's probably just a more depleted soil than anything, because I am reusing soil, and well, I would say probably 80% of my grow at this point. And you know, supplementing with some soil when I need to, but yeah, it's mostly reused soil. So I think that's just one of those cases of it just, you know, didn't have the nitrogen content to get through that first couple weeks of that stretch, really, you know, and now it's going into flower, like, you know, so it is what it is with that one, but everything else looks great. It's just one of those things I noticed. I don't know really where I was going with that, but
I would.
well, yeah, just the light intensity. You know, I think so. I think part of that might have been because I also turned up the lights a little bit higher than I normally do, and so now today I finally was like, all right, I'll back it off a little bit. Let's go back to 75%.
Do you supplement CO2 in there too?
Yeah, it's at 1,000 ppms.
Okay, so yeah, so you can take the extra light probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my humidity. So temperature is about 76 degrees. Humidity was just shy of 60, but it's been topping over 60, like even like 66% as the lights go off, because I just filled the room out. You know, it's just very full right now. Part of combating that was a few days ago I went through and defoliated a little bit, lollipopped a little bit, you know, just try to get some of that transpiration out of the room, stuff that's not going to really be producing, unlike Spartan, who's just top to bottom, you know, rock hard thick boy nugs over there.
Great phone over there, man. That's not in my home garden.
Touche.
Yeah,
Shouts the homie.
shout out to Baked. But yeah, that's the advantage of also having light all around too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I laugh a little bit in my head when I see people talking about like somebody was talking about, I was watching a video today talking about a light that had a special green something wavelength to it, and that was important because it had light penetration. I'm like, or you could just put light under the fucking plant, you know, that's all the light penetration you need. You don't need a special fucking anything. So
Yeah.
it just gives you more options. The whole under canopy thing is wild to think about, how it's like it could change so many different things for so many reasons that you don't think about, like how it changes just the not only does it even out the light throughout the plant vertically, but it kind of helps even out the environment as well. And what I mean by that is like the heat throughout the plant. You know, the heat at the top of the plant is more even throughout the plant, even at the bottom. And because you're evening everything out, you're getting those, what, like you said, we were saying earlier, or at least alluding to, and that's your C buds are now going to B buds, and B buds are going to A buds. It's like you're getting more even structure because you're getting the environment the same. Which is funny because when I first saw it, when I was first exposed to under camping, I'm like, what the fuck? That's the stupidest thing I ever saw. That was the first reaction.
When was it, dude? Because I'm actually going through a library of my Muddy Cropper videos right now that are probably over a decade old and not on YouTube anymore. I think maybe some of them are. And I know he brought up under.
Like he did side lighting, I guess, more.
Oh, it was side lighting? Okay. I swear he did under.
The light to the side of the garage on the side walls.
Do you remember, like.
No, I couldn't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But then I saw a white paper about it, confirming that it was getting better yields. I'm like, okay, maybe there's something to it. And I started hearing other people who had grown with it start telling me, at least in the commercial space, that like they were upgrading and they're going to keep getting more of them after trying them. And I was like, all right, I got to start looking at this and see what it's about. And then, lucky enough, I'm working with Grandmaster Level, and he made some and sent me some to trial, and that's what we got hanging up there. Those aren't the launch units. Those, we're not even launched the light yet. I think it's going to be hitting here sometime in March, maybe the first part of March. And we'll have the launch units ready.
Nice. Well, that's exciting. What I mean, what kind of details can you share? Anything?
Well, yeah, we've got it already posted
Spec-wise?
because they've got it on pre-sale, which is a lower price than what it will eventually be after launch. Here it is. Tarantula Volcano. Let's see what the specs are. So we got 120 watts. You'll be able to dim them if you have them connected to a light controller. We obviously have a light controller, but there's other light controllers too. But it doesn't have a physical dimmer on them. 3.2 U-moles a joule. Total output is 385 ppf. 6 pounds is what they weigh.
Okay.
And the price, I can tell you the price right now. It's on sale for $150 USD for just the Volcano. And there's like all different things you can pick, because you can pick it as a side mount kit. You can pick it as an underneath kit. You can pick different size length cables. There's a few things you can pick, and but that's what the price for just the light is. If you want the other,
is it just me? And feel free to chime in here, Terranut Tree, anybody that has experience with LED, quite frankly, even in the chat. Is it just me, or is it kind of plus or minus $1 per watt when it comes to LED fixtures for growing? Does that seem to be about the price range? Maybe plus or minus a quarter or something like that.
Well, kind of. It depends on what kind of light it is. Like, we're gonna have
the
some
tech.
Like, for example, we have a 720 watt Tarantula Revolution right now on pre-sale for $399.
Okay. So that's a lot less.
That's like 50 cents.
Yeah, I think it's even less than that, maybe. Well, no, yeah, somewhere around there.
But yeah, so it all depends on what light, and like that's the light that doesn't spectrum tune, right? That's a single spectrum light that plug and play. But that's exactly what a lot of especially big commercial places are looking for. But then there's people that want spectrum tuning, or people that want at least far red on its own channel. There's a lot of different options, and all that stuff costs money.
I was kind of had that in my head for a long time about LED fixtures. I'm like, it seems like it's just like $1 a watt. Like anywhere you go, you want to, and it's again,
time until we decided to do it different.
yeah, the tech, it's more than just upgrading diodes and quantum boards and freaking aluminum. You know what I mean? It's in like the software and the ancillary products and all that other beautiful stuff that actually makes a company.
Honestly, the big driver of that really helped us a lot was Samsung announcing that they're getting out of the LED business. So now Nike of LEDs isn't something that the common consumer who saw somebody say that the Samsungs were the best, now they ask, I just want Samsung. It didn't matter, how they tested or anything like that. Well, now we're actually using LED Star. It's LEDESTAR, and pretty much 1-1 replacement on most of those diodes, and they have less failure rates. They're performing better for us, and and it's a lower cost. We're not having to pay that brand name or whatever. LED is a brand name too, but I'm just saying that Samsung pretty much, they did make really great diodes, 100% for sure. Then they built a good name for themselves, and then they just started charging more because it was Samsung.
Kind of like Apple kind of thing, maybe. Yeah, it's just brand name. Same thing with toothpaste. You buy the one right next to the brand name one off the shelf, and it's made out of the same factory.
Well, the thing is that the factory that we have that makes our lights, the like SOP is when they get their LED diodes in. We test them too. We don't just take the word for it, right? They go through testing ourselves before we even use them on our light fixture.
That's called quality control. We were talking about that last night. QC is sometimes the best part of the job, especially when it comes to dabs and whatnot, you know?
Yeah.
Aren't I right, Tara? Yeah, I see it. I see it.
But then that gives us a whole lot of data, right? Where we can say, oh yeah, these fucking diodes often fail, you know, a failure rate of this or failure rate of that. And these ones we're having this. So we get to see all that data without actually assembling them all, put them on the lights and waiting for feedback, right? We're testing every diode. So we get to see that stuff. It's not just, you know, it's valuable information for us to be like, okay, we can switch to this and we'll be pretty safe and we'll save the customer money. We could charge the same amount that you know, it costs for a Samsung diode. And, but no, we're going to charge you, you know, the savings that we got, we're passing that along, and that's what's going to do good for everybody. Everybody will be growing at home now. That's kind of what he did with that line that's coming out. It's coming out in March too. And it was like, we need to try to get a spectrum tuning light as cheap as we can. We need to get, and by cheap, I mean not expensive, but still well-built light. I mean, they still come with a 5-year warranty and all that, but it's like, it's not fair that like the spectrum tuning is cost $1,000 at least you're in for, and nobody else can get in on it as a home grower. So that was kind of the idea, is going after those other companies that are crushing it at that price point too, like Mars Hydro and Spider and stuff like that. So that's where this new line came.
Trying
in.
to hit all the, not just the commercial market or not just the, you know, connoisseur home grower or whatever. Yeah, it's a big market out there, man, and you know, I think they kind of figured that out early on, and that's why there was a lot of mergers and acquisitions come, you know, when there was like a condensing of the market, if you will. But that wasn't all good for them because a lot of things got kicked to the side in the process. You know, like you can't buy Horlicks bulbs anymore or whatever. You know, like there's a lot of brands that are just completely gone. Like big brands that everyone relied on, but you know, times move on and you got to move on too.
Yeah, absolutely. Shouts to Tank Man Dan. I see him in chat popping in.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers, Dan. Miss ya.
I was going to say, for Goalie, I sent you a couple of videos if you want to show some of our grow. Tara can talk about it or something if she wants.
Are they on IG? Where they at?
I sent you IG message, Instagram. I was going to share it here, but I'm not keen on that yet.
I got you. Hold on.
Good to see you, Dan.
Flower room, I got a Vortex. Just when they come out of there. That Vortex that I picked way back when I started, before I made the other stuff. Made all the other Vortex crosses. So that's like the mama plant. Or no, I used a Vortex male for all my crosses, so it's not the mama plant, but it was the Vortex I kept out of that. And she's smelling nice. Here we go, GMO times motor breath.
Storm Shadow, we've got some Cherry Paloma in there. We're flowering out in one gauss. Trying it out here at home. We had done that at Freedom Green, so I figured if we can flower out 500 plants in one gauss, we can do ours too. So we're about day 35, I said 36.
Something like that.
Yeah, day 35, day 36. Was trying to keep that GMO and the GG4 from stretching, so he did a really good job keeping everybody, you know, lower. I'm happy with everybody's the, you know, height of everything. Wasn't a very long stretch either on them. So, but this is only our first time running the GMO, second time on the GG4. So I'm really hoping this second run of the GG4 is a lot better than the first one. The first one was a bit larfy in my opinion and not real chunky buds. And
GG4 is the next video. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, there's one more.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that GMO. I'm happy to have that in the garden. Shout out to Red and Becca, and they got that from who'd they get that from? Astro Charlie.
Which one?
The GMO came from
GMO.
yesterday.
Okay. This is the GG4 now. Back into the 5x5. The chilled. Right there's a.
We've got some of the leaves are turning a bit darker, almost dark purple, and I'm thinking it's because, well, I first asked if the feed was okay, and he thinks that he didn't have an issue with that, but got some turning of leaves that are pretty dark, and I think when the lights are going off, it's getting too cold in there because they are in the basement. So that's my thought. But it also is on, it's the GMO, right, that it's doing it on.
Yeah.
It's a bit picky, so between that and the GG4, they tend to be a little pickier than the other ones that we've got. So could be something else too. I don't know. So we'll see. But super excited to get the fruits of the outcome of these tents.
Yeah.
Nice. I think you're right. It could be cold.
Yeah, I think it's cold. Because everybody else looks real nice.
Especially in that corner right over there.
Yeah, and
where it's
Oh, looks like they got froze. Looks like they got cold. They completely froze.
cold.
darn it. Stupid internet.
There you go. You're back.
Yeah, sorry, stupid internet.
Guess it got so cold, like you said, we froze.
Yeah,
We did hear you. See, that was
Yeah.
the weird thing. I don't know.
that's cool.
I was gonna say, no way, he just made the same joke.
Did I mention a GG4 times motor breath cross? I don't think I did. If I did, I don't remember it. So I can't help you with that. I think I was just reading their strains that they had, but I don't think you guys had a motor breath in there, did you?
There was one boner breath in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a motor breath.
I was just reading it.
One in each tent. There was one motor breath in each tent and one cherry paloma in each tent. I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah,
then-
no, Dan, it's
and then
not
all-
a cross of GG4 and Motor Breath.
No.
It's that was just the strains that are in each tent.
Yeah, that would be awesome though.
But no, that I haven't ran the Motor Breath either yet. I got that from Dan, and I'm super stoked to run that too. It's doing really, really nice. And then in our 3x6 tent up here, we've got a single Banana Daddy going. That's really, really nice. I'm growing that for a friend.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, I'll be excited to give that to him because he's had a stroke in the past and has some issues with sleeping, and I don't know what it is, but the Banana Daddy gets him to sleep. So I told him I'd be more than happy to grow a plant out for him and give it to him.
Banana Daddy was the first plant that I ever turned into butter.
Okay.
Banana Daddy. Or I did coconut oil. I turned it into coconut oil. And I used it in my coffee.
Okay.
It was, yeah, not a sleeper one for me, but yeah.
It was not a sleeper for me either. So when he said that it made him sleep, I was just like, all right.
If it's working, if it's, tickling some box in that ring,
exactly.
let it do its thing.
What's good for one person might not be for the other. So yeah, I definitely was like, well, if it's gonna work for you, I'll give it to you.
I could have swore
But
that
great tasting, great terps on it. Great terps though.
like the Banana Daddy that I had when I was trimming it, I like walked through the room with the trim tray, and then somebody else had walked through the room next and was like, "Oh, did you just make some coffee?" And I was like, "No, but it smells damn good, don't it?" And I was like, "All right, well, I got to do something with this," and so I just started my coffee at that point.
Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
that's what we've got going.
I just
Dan got Chem Dog F4 Super Silver Haze Deluxe Sugar Cane. Nice.
And he brought Divine Storm
Storm,
back, which
yeah.
I'll drive 8 hours for that one again. And I gladly would. Oh, I missed that one. I was so upset when he got rid of it. He's just like, I gotta do new things. And I was just like, but why that one?
See, I'm all in on the Super Silver Haze. That's right up my alley, man. That's going back right there.
I'm loving. I just put a Mac 1 into flour.
We have seeds of the Super Silver Haze.
Yeah, they didn't pop. Remember, we tried popping, so
Oh.
we forgot them.
We have a few more packs, I think.
Yeah. But the Mac 1 is like the first time in a long time that didn't look pissed off. Usually it's always pissed off as fuck in veg and then looks great in flour. She looked great in veg even, so I'm like, oh, I'm excited for this. One of my favorite smokes.
What do you guys have any strains that you particularly like only in dabs or flour? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't have any that I'm more. I mean, I'm more partial to dabs than just about anything, if I'm honest with you. But I had some. I harvested some garlic punch flour recently, and I was finally like, I'm just trying to test it as it was curing. You know what I mean? And try to get it right. And I just really, really enjoyed the garlic punch flour. And it's been, I don't know if it's been a while since I've had it or what, but it's just like, oh, I'm going to roll up quite a bit of this, I think. There might be a couple ounces of this saved for myself.
I prefer the Cherry Paloma dabs that you did for us over the flour all day long.
That's right. I remember now.
Yeah, I loved that.
What about GMO flour versus GMO dabs?
Ooh, that's hard right there for me because both are real heavy hitters for me in both sense. But I feel like flour of GMO probably helps my stomach better than a dab of GMO.
I feel the same way about Mac 1. I like Mac 1 as flour, and if I see Mac 1 concentrate, I usually be like, eh.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't want to say that I don't really feel like my dabs are like medicinal to me, but I feel like flour is definitely a little bit more medicinal in my view for myself. Dabs.
Can I comment on that? Because I come from this space that I'm processing because I find it to be more medicinal, right? But at the same token, a lot of people feel like you lose something when you're processing it and that you don't get this really full spectrum effect that you get from flour when you get it from whatever it is, whether it's distillate, CO2, hydrocarbon, rosin, solventless, hash, whatever you want to call it.
It could be something that's not even in the trichome itself, and it's something that's in the plant material.
Right. But I also so I'm conflicted because I'm like, I'm trying to process only what is medicinal.
Right.
And, my whole process is designed to leave the fats, the lipids, the chlorophylls, all this plant material behind and extract the medicine, right?
I mean, you're still taking out the natural part of it. You're still changing it. I think that's a big take on it, is like the plant itself, you're consuming that's natural,
Yeah, but there's also a lot of stuff I don't want to consume in the plant itself. So it's like I go back and forth of like, is there like this full effect worth the contaminants of the plant, like the tar and the combustion and the things that come with that? Is there some happy medium we haven't figured out yet?
Effect of the plant is that full effect. I think that the people who are saying like they get a more medicinal effect of flour, it's that all-encompassing one. It's not that we're missing out because there's something that is a little bit not healthy or not only the healthy part. I think that the fact of all of those pieces combined and the way that you process it is how you get that full effect, because you are stripping out things when you're taking it and processing it the way that you are removing things from it. So it makes sense. Sure, we might have all of those medicinal pieces in there and we might have those medicinal effects that we are intaking, but the result of it is still like you're missing that piece of it. You've removed that piece of it. So I don't think it necessarily matters about how much of the medicine that you're getting into it. If somebody wants to feel the plant's effect, I feel like those are the ones who would want to go for flour over a dab, if that makes sense.
And I think it's got a lot to do too with like putting my caregiver hat. And if we're talking about medicinal value, I'm going to 9 out of 10 times try to push it to be an edible form if I'm worried about somebody who's immune compromised, especially if somebody's got issues with their lungs and things like that. But there's exceptions even to that rule, and that's like if you need immediate relief, an edible is not going to do that. It's just not going to do it. And so I'm going to take, like you said, worry about tar and maybe big air quotes here, contaminants, and I'm going to just do what's easy, and that's grab some flour, put it in a bowl, and spark it up in the middle of the night when you're waking up in pain. Just do that, and you know, it's going to get you through maybe. But I'm not saying
You're talking about the quiver.
yeah,
man.
But at the same time, you could be reaching over and grabbing a Puffco, right? I was going to grab.
Right.
You can reach over and grab a Puffco with a dab in it too, and but those are two different medicines. The concentrate is going to have a different effect.
Or slap on some topical. You know what I mean? It could be anything, right? Like, but yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the quiver, and that's why like I don't exclude anything. Honestly, like I all right, maybe I couldn't tell you the last time I ingested anything from a CO2 extract, to be quite frank with you, but.
True.
I'm not really like prejudiced towards it to the fact that I won't try it. It's just it's so uncommon, I think, nowadays. Yeah, you know, I think I have my preferences and I have my desired methods and I have my, you know, kind of reasons for doing such. But I also like wouldn't want to inhibit someone else's, you know, potential medicinal method of intake because I have a certain way of doing it. You know what I mean? And so that's why I think like having that full spectrum of availability of put it this way, I think it's really cool to see the flower next to the extract next to the edible, you know, and it just all kind of coming from the same plant, and that way you can figure it out on your own real quick, you know, what works for you and what doesn't.
Or where does it fit in my tool belt, right?
Right.
Where does it fit in my tool belt to, you know, fix my ailments or whatever. One thing better, you know, flour might be better for this, and you know, a dab might be better for this situation. It's great to be able. We're blessed. We're really, when you think about it, we're really fun when it comes to cannabis space. You know, not the average cannabis consumer doesn't even consume daily. You know, I mean, step one. Where we're
bro, we all came up in the era where we're still picking out seeds and stems. You know what I mean? Like it's different times.
Now we're talking about, you know, having all this at our fingertips and control. It's insane, you know.
You just picked up a fucking electronic device that vaporizes concentrated forms of an illegal plant that fits in a cup holder. Like what?
With a hand blown glass, mind you.
Right. It's customized, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean it's like insane.
Smart.
It's insane in the world we live in.
Yeah. Sometimes I think that dabbing is just microdosing the medicine.
Maybe.
Or is it macro dosing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the other way.
It feels like microdosing it though. It just feels like it does feel like a concentrated form, but it still feels like microdosing to me.
So the way I approach
and I have to do so many of them. I'll do like 3 or 4 dabs in a row, and I'll be like, all right, cool, I took a dab.
Okay, so that's not microdosing though. Okay, so microdosing is like taking a dab, not 3 or 4 in a row.
But that was the way I use it.
Okay, it's different though. Like I can take a dab and I can like hit a dab and exhale and have a good cloud and stuff. But if I smoke a bowl and do that same exhale, it feels different though. Like I can take a dab and go dab and dab, whereas a bowl, it's like, all right, let me take a minute, let me get my breath going, and then go back at it.
Yeah,
and I agree, and I think that what the dab for me is like, I like to still do both. I like to do a dab to like push the gas, to push out the gas on the high, to make it to enhance the high that I have already or that I'm working on. I might start with a dab, but then I want to back it up with just a bowl, because there's something to that. There's something to the flower still that, you know, it hits something that the dab doesn't. To have them both, it gets me there a lot faster than trying to just fucking get it from one, because I'm just frustrated.
Yeah, I think my routine and I do really kind of have a routine. I usually do 2 dabs in a bowl.
I mean, for the record, though, I don't think that I need better rosin, baby. I think I just need a better brain.
That was the comment she's talking about. Yeah, or a hotter temp, but yeah, and that's the thing. Like, sure, if you just are trying to get wrecked, you could just go very hot and very big. But like, I'd also rather just microdose the flavor than have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
would
Again,
think
it's
so.
different experiences, different philosophies, different
Yeah,
reasons
I
for
would say,
having it in your
hotter
car.
is not better, really. I think that that's where those devices excel, or the e-nail, like Fergulli has said so many times, excels is that it keeps it at that constant temperature where it will vaporize, where you can still keep taking a dab, and it's not like you have to get it hotter than a normal temperature to take that dab. Where you have to do that is if you just got a straight banger, you got to get it hot as fuck because it's going to cool down so much when you put a big old glob in that thing. It's going to stop vaporizing. So you got to get it hotter to try to do it all in one go. So I think that's where those things excel. You know, that's where that stuff, if you're going to do something like that much, then that's where you want one of those devices. Again, your tool belt, you pull it out of your stoner tool belt, and there's the tool for that situation.
And now I really want to like. I don't have a 3D printer, but the things I would make with one, a
Well,
literal
I
tool
don't
belt.
have one.
A literal.
I figured you would have one.
I mean, I would have so many dab tool spots, a puncture holder over here, probably a bong leash on this one with like a backup, like stand on it or something that would just automatic. Because those maybe just fully in case. Because I don't know, that's too much class to be carrying around. But
It would have
also
a
like,
pack on it that you plugged in all of your devices to as well.
oh, for sure, just a spot to put a battery pack, like a 63,000 milliamp.
The belt buckle.
Just get sponsored by Anchor. Yeah, I think that's the way you say it. The battery brand or whatever. Yeah.
I got a 3D printed grinder here that my brother got made for me. No microplastics though going in this stuff at all. You know, of course.
Is that some sarcasm?
Probably.
Well, if it gets locked up, you just print you another one.
Well, I mean, I've had the whatchamacallit, like smoke shops tell me before, which props to them. They're like, you know, with a fresh grinder, like definitely go like spray that thing in the wash or like with your hose or whatever, not a hose, your sink, to, you know, get some of the like scrap metal out before you just go throw a nug in there. I'm like, oh God, I didn't. Huh? You know, like you're looking in there, like, is there just little chunks of metal everywhere? You know, but
I've never
that's
thought
just,
of that.
yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, yeah, could be anything. Could be metal. Could be microplastics. Could be glass. Could be whatever.
You know,
I've broken my fair share of bongs.
old man me thinks when I hear stories like that, it's like, oh, the generations where we were smoking out of fucking pop cans, aluminum,
plastic water bottles, and
now we're worried about what our fucking grinder might have a fucking speck of metal. That's what we're worried about.
to be fair, even chefs, when they sharpen their knives, they don't like go and clean their knife off or blow it off or rinse it off or whatever. You know, like they just go right back into the meat. So, you know, I don't know, to each their own. Different standards of standards.
Even be more, look into that more. Look at the average food, like fast food place where we're eating more food than, you know, not most of us go to a big restaurant.
Hey, you know, 9/10 of a mouse is acceptable every once in a while, all right?
It's not alive if it's only 9/10 of a mouse. Fine.
It's just protein.
It's just another nugget.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had an experience like that, whether it be from like a store, a fast food place, a restaurant where you got, I'm not saying like a mouse or a grasshopper or a fly or a hair or anything like that, but just something out of the ordinary. Like I'll give you an example. I actually remember getting something ridiculous. It wasn't like a graphics card, but it was one of those situations where you got like a couple $100 and double whatever you ordered from Amazon, and you're like, hey, you guys sent me 2, and they're like, fuck it, keep it. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that that was one of those shipping mistakes where it worked out in my favor. But I don't know, any surprise packages that you guys got? I don't know where I got from.
I got a package Amazon once that was full of mac and cheese, and it was my address, but I didn't order it, and so I kept that damn mac and cheese.
Oh, so it wasn't like cooked already. I thought you were going to tell me it was
mac and cheese.
okay.
Yeah. And it was my address. It wasn't my name on the package though, but it was my address. So
We had some dabs delivered to us.
legally yours.
Delivered actually next door to us instead. We didn't know where they were at. And like, I don't know, a month went by, and I read on Facebook that anybody know Tara Wilson, and it was the next door restaurant next door asking for Tara Wilson because this package was next door to me, not my house or whatever. So I'm like, oh yeah, I know Tara Wilson, and they still had the package all sealed up.
I was like, hot damn, I'm coming for that.
It wasn't stinking up the place. Whoever sent that did a good job.
They sealed it
Yeah,
up
it
good.
was definitely sealed very well.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any.
Goodness, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, God.
I just get cool stuff from people. Like Chad Westport sent me a book that I'm still reading, which is pretty sweet.
you got that Mother Murphy's shirt, and it took
Oh,
us
God.
forever to figure out who
Yeah,
sent
somebody sent me a
that. That was
Mother
cool.
Murphy shirt. Yeah, for sure. Was there something I mentioned in passing or something on one
We
show?
had just gone and saw the shop in like Bloomington, I think it was, and made a reel or something, put it on Facebook. And then we went to your PO box, and it was in there, and I was like, "What the hell? We were just here.
Yeah.
Where did this come from?"
Yeah, or seeds. I get seeds in the mail a lot. Just cool stuff like that. Just people watch the show and stuff. I don't use Amazon. Screw Amazon.
He has others use Amazon for him. Something will show up though, because I use Amazon pretty regularly. Something will show up though and be like, "I don't think I ordered a package," and I'll grab it, and it's something from like GML sent him something.
Oh yeah, they send me stuff from Amazon. I just got like a year's worth of shipping labels.
Technically, you don't support that.
I don't. I don't get it for my money. I'll tell you that. But it doesn't matter. They're fertilizing our farm with sewage sludge. A Michigan meat producer lost their farm because due to PFAS contamination. Those are two different things, I think. PFAS is the stuff that was like from damn foam that they were using at the military places to put out fires and stuff, and ran off into our rivers. And when the state complained, they said, "Stop doing that." The military said, "You're in the wrong jurisdiction. We don't have to listen to you." Oh, I love it. And now we're dealing with it all over our rivers and all over the fucking drinking water. It's awesome. Whoa, JMJ12 says, "I use a cast iron grinder. Best I've ever had." What is a cast iron grinder?
Yeah.
That sounds incredible.
Yeah, I would love to see a picture of that. Holy smokes.
What if it's
I
similar
like
to the
I like
sweet
ours.
leaf grinder, which is the best?
Oh, you just cleaned it. That looks nice.
It's pretty clean. It's pretty clean.
You were just talking about that on the last show, weren't you?
Oh, I love it. I always shout it out. I love that thing. That's my original one too. That I bought the very first one. I think that's it. I would like to get. I saw one time one that was about 4 times that size. It was
Yeah, yeah.
massive big. I'm kicking myself for not buying it because it was only like $30 or something. But you could probably grind like, I don't know, at least an eighth in it.
Yeah, how much do you need to grind at one time though?
Yeah, you get ready to go out or something. You need to roll some joints, pack some cones. A little bit bigger circumference would make it easier to grind, way easier.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
You know what I want? I want one of those things that like kids have that you sit on and then spin around in circles. Talk about a grinder like that. I can't use my hands very well, so you do like a pound at a time.
You could get the one that Jack's got. You didn't see that one on the last show.
Oh, I did.
It's got like a let's see. It's got like something like this, but it's turned around the other way. Right? And you put your weed in it, and then there's a spindle inside there with a ball and chain.
Yeah.
That just spins on a wheel and beats the shit out of it. And knocks it all up and breaks it up. And it's battery powered. So you're just pushing down on it, and it's just.
What if there was like a pencil sharpener weed? Like put your butt in like a pencil sharpener?
There's this guy here that's a mason grinder. So basically, you can put it right on top of your jar, and it's got a magnet. But I think there's one more piece that I'm missing right now to it that holds that piece on.
Oh, so yeah, that's true.
That's fucking cool.
And you can just
That's
grind it right
fucking
into it.
cool. Holy shit, dude! What is that called?
Mason grinder.
Mason grinder.
That's cool.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! They deserve all the money.
Sit and spin on that.
What are you gonna make attachments for it? Maybe a little magnetic style, or
That's for the late session.
Oh, yeah, I see local grow guy in chat says he just ordered that grinder I was telling you about for $56 on Amazon. That's expensive for a grinder, $56.
It's gonna last forever. I don't think it's gonna break like one of the plastic ones, or there's not like
You don't ever
a
have to
piece
clean.
to fall
It'd
off.
be a lot
you
easier
know?
to clean too. A
Yeah.
lot fucking easier to clean.
I don't like the ones that are the one of those 4 tiers or whatever, and they have like the keef tray at the bottom and the
Yes.
screen, and
More tools in the tool belt, though.
those
right.
always like
What
I've
tool?
never had good luck, let alone keeping all of the pieces somehow together, even though they're supposed to screw together. Always lost a piece to it. But the connection, like the thread was always really difficult on all of those types to get them lined back up. I just don't like threading things.
And I push back.
Well, especially if you got some keefy fucking bud that you're putting in there. Sorry, Spartan, go ahead.
I said, I'm just pushing back that as another tool in the toolbox because it's not in my toolbox because I don't think, because I have
was
a
just talking about-
this tool is better. This tool is better than that
I
tool.
was just talking about all the stuff that we're talking about.
It is a tool to choose.
I don't like it just separating out my tri. Why am I separating out the trichome heads from my fucking weed that in a 4-chamber, a keef catcher? What the fuck? No, give me that keef. Why are you taking it out? No, give me that keef. Grind it up.
They're not taking it from you, Spartan. It's still there for you to use. It's just now concentrated.
No, it's pulled apart. Why would you put it in the fucking thing and allow it to be? It should be in the same spot as where your weed is, so that you smoke it all together. That's what your whole idea of smoking the flower is. You're trying to smoke the flower. You don't want to dry sift the flower and smoke the weekend now.
Wait. Right. We're not trying to extract everything and then smoke the contaminants.
Separately. No, I'm trying it all together. I don't want it separate. I want it all together.
Right.
Okay, that's something. So I've never smoked just trichome heads or anything like that.
Oh, I like doing that too.
But that's pulling out all the impurities and stuff as well. I wonder what kind of a high that would be to smoke.
I want to try that too.
Yeah, compared to smoking flower, like all
So
encompassing.
you're talking dry sift essentially.
I guess I don't know.
Let's talk
what
about
term.
5-star dry sift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that would be what you were talking about earlier, how you're extracting all of the medicinal pieces when you're making the concentrate and the extract and stuff. Dry sift would be its own type of extraction and getting only the purity. And I wonder what kind of a high that would.
It would
So-
be closer to solventless than it would be to hydrocarbon because you're going to still have a lot of the fats, the waxy lipid layers of the trichomes on it.
So it would give you more of that full effect feeling like flower would.
So, like Marcus would
Not
say,
necessarily.
like Marcus would say, Bubble Man would say that it'd be the best representation of the trichome head or the trichome on the plant. You're basically snapping off the heads and you're filtering everything else away, including trichome stalks. The only thing you're collecting is trichome heads. And so they say that's better because like even with a water extraction, so like you're doing bubble hash, water will pull out. There's water soluble compounds that get pulled out when you do like what Ferrelli does with PHO. That removes a lot of the waxes and lipids. But with this, you're getting the pure trichome head with the waxes and lipids. You're not removing anything. You're getting everything that in the combination that the plant put it in without switching anything, and you're consuming that.
Contaminants.
What I'm asking is though, I understand what you're doing, but what I'm asking is, like we were just talking about earlier, people will say that they don't get that full effect when it's like dabbing over smoking flower.
Right.
I wonder, because you're extracting that to just that point of the head, would you still be able to get that full effect of flower because it's not processed technically?
No, I think it's going to be somewhere in between, right? I don't think you're going to get that full effect like you would flour, because flour is going to give you something different than an extract would just in general. And each extract is going to give you something different because the way it's processed is giving you different range of temperatures, different range of pressures, different range of solvents, different range of activity or reactivity to collect those. So, it could be down to the level of static of the trichomes at which you're going to be intaking these down the road, So there's a lot of variables that go into that. And, I think the general way of consuming the all-encompassing plant is to just smoke the flower, right? But that doesn't mean there's not a lot of other ways to do it. And we've put names to a lot of them, and there's more than I can count on 2 hands and 2 feet, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon either, which is awesome. I don't want to limit anybody's consumption, right?
Heads, is that considered extracting then? Is that a form of extracting?
For sure.
Okay.
Because you're removing the plant material.
Even though you're not using any like lab, I guess maybe you're using lab equipment.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Some people will say you're not extracting it, but you're still concentrating it. So it's
okay.
For what we're saying, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's you're extracting it, you're concentrating it. Yeah,
you're making it concentrate.
You're processing it. If you really want to get down to it, even just walking across the room sometimes with those keefy strains, and you're processing it. It's just going all over the ground behind you, up into the air and into your nostrils.
Bouncing fucking trichomes everywhere, man. So yeah. Good stuff. Who won? Did the Eagles win?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure they.
It would have been a crazy ass comeback.
Yeah, well, I think that's one of the things there. I don't know. That's what would have made it a good game, right? Like otherwise, that was just a kind of a bullshit Super Bowl.
It wouldn't be the only one.
I mean, I'm sure Philly fans are very happy, you know what I mean? Like, but that was not an exciting game.
No. Everything I watched of it, I was like, wow.
I didn't watch none of it.
Like I said, I didn't even realize it was a Super Bowl until last night.
I might have to go back and watch the commercials is all. I missed it out, I think.
Doritos had a good one. I'm trying to think. There was like 5 or 6 I could count on probably 2 hands. The amount that I like.
The trailer for the new Jurassic Park movie looked good. I'm trying to think the other trailer I saw. Would you two stop it?
This made me laugh. Early on, Little Caesars, I think it was, brought the guy from Schitt's Creek, the dad with the big eyebrows, right? Brought him on.
Eugene.
And yes, I'll go with it. I didn't hear it all, but I'll go with it. So big eyebrows guy, he comes in, and all of a sudden in the middle of the commercial, the eyebrows come off, and they're animated and they're doing things, and it's part of the whole like next 30 seconds of this commercial, right? Well, an hour and a half or so later, a Pringles commercial comes on, and it's the Pringles mustache, right? And the Pringles mustache is jumping around doing the same fucking thing that these eyebrows were doing. And I'm like, dude, Little Caesars beat Pringles to the punch. Like, it's the same fucking commercial. It's just an hour and a half later in a different fur line.
It's probably all owned by fucking Vanguard, and they were in on it together.
Well, yeah, everything's owned by 12.5% Vanguard and 8.5% BlackRock, and 3%. Yeah,
3% Trump.
3% inflation.
Yeah. I'm
That's
just
true, though.
looking at tariffs. That's what I'm interested in. What are the tariffs going to look like? I'll shout out to Becca and Red. Hope everything's going well. They're in chat right now.
Oh, I see. Welcome. He was holding things down at the farm. Coming back, I think. But yeah, they obviously have a lot on their hands.
Yeah.
If you missed last week's show, definitely go back. Daddy Red's now Granddaddy Red, if you've missed it.
Yep, he's been upgraded.
Yeah.
And now Red is Daddy Red.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. They're gonna have to swap screen names or something here.
True.
It's cute. Too cute.
What else? You guys got anything to plug?
Anything to plug? No. If you need a light, you can hit me up on Instagram, Spartan Grow.
You got a discount code or something they plug into that website, or?
Yeah, you can use Spartan Grown to get a discount. I think it's 10% off anything that's not already on sale.
Nice.
And then, check out Grandmaster.com if you're in the USA, or .ca if you're in Canada. I can't stop coughing. I got a tickle in the back of my throat.
Emily, how's that podcast going?
Man, it's on hiatus right now. I've got a few things that I'm trying to figure out. It's so difficult to make the time to do the recording and then the editing and stuff. And, so I didn't realize what I was getting into with that, and planning and scheduling around that is just not what I'm liking. So I'm revamping, and I'm going to be switching to just audio for it. And I'm going to be implementing a few different littler pieces, I think. Instead of doing big books at a time, maybe some short stories, some essays or articles, things like that, shorter pieces as well, to just kind of, it's nerve-wracking still, just, even though I'm just talking to a screen, it's hard to figure out my thoughts to put out there. And especially on such big ventures, like a whole book, I realized. So I want to try with some smaller pieces and just figure it out right now.
What if, this is probably even a bigger, I think, okay, just be prepared. I think I'm pitching a bigger idea than a smaller idea here. But what if you had a live book club with a little fire background, and you had, 5 or 6 ladies discussing whatever book you guys were doing that live, so the conversation flowed, kind of like we have 5 people here, right?
Yeah, that's definitely.
But it's surrounding kind of one topic, rather than rather than being all of the production on you, because that is a lot of undertaking. It's a crazy amount of work to put even 20 minutes out, let alone a couple hours.
Yeah.
But if you can live stream it, listen, guys, we sit down here, we pull up the mics, pop on the headphones, and we just try to keep a conversation going for 2 hours, right? I think surrounding one topic like a book, you could probably do that, especially, you start bringing the cannabis world around. And
I mean, to be honest with you, though, it's not necessarily, it is a book club in a sense, because I would love to have that. I would love to have people to sit and converse with. But my take on starting it was more so just so that I could experience different works and different perspectives, so that I could help myself understand and grow just as a person. And so, and it's not necessarily only cannabis related content as well. I don't want to limit myself to that. I want to do that where it is open to explore the topic or the book in a live setting with multiple people. However, because of what I'm wanting to gain from it, I don't want that to be live, just off cuff. That's something I want to sit down and think about. And I would love to have just spitball conversations, like this about those topics, but there are going to be things that come up because that's what I want. I want to be able to think through harder topics that require maybe a chance for somebody to express themselves and say, hey, actually, maybe I don't feel that way about it. Like maybe I do want to change my viewpoint, So I don't want that to be live streamed for everyone to judge and feel a little bit scared to join or participate in.
Fair enough.
So I like to have the control of it being my production in regard to where my stance is on whatever piece I'm exploring. And then something that actually we've been talking about trying to figure out how to get that multiple people aspect in is with the Bite Me Cannabis Club that I'm collaborating with Margaret on. They do offer live rooms and workshops and events and things that I can plan and set up so that it doesn't have to be, it can still be a situation where we're sitting together live talking, but it doesn't necessarily have to be live streamed for everyone. It's only who is really willing to sit down and join that club and be there for those monthly, workshops or events or whatever you want to call it. So that would be a way that I would be able to get it in a more open panel, but still allow myself to record it, behind scenes, edit it if I do choose, if everybody is cool with it. They can then share, okay, I do want this in there, I don't want to share this per se, and then I can put it out from there as well, back on YouTube for others to join that conversation and see the different viewpoints. But I don't necessarily want to start it just like live streaming like this, because I don't necessarily know what I'm trying to completely do with it yet. So I don't want to taint it or anything, until I kind of figure out a bit more of what I want to do with it.
Well, we'll be here for it. I'll let you know.
I mean, it's more of a personal project, I would say, that I'm trying to branch out and do. But more so, I mean, it's just kind of something that I'm trying to do for me. So if it doesn't open up to everybody and stuff like that, at least I'm still getting what I want out of it. I'm still having conversations that I didn't have before. And it's hard to kind of figure out a virtual way to do stuff, even though like that is where the world has gone to. It's like all of this virtual stuff. It's hard to get that connection and people to want to continually show up and stuff. So, I don't know where it's going to go, but I know it's going somewhere.
I feel like it's off platform, so you don't get like you have to follow our rules, or we're going to take your content away from you. Thing. It's like it's the Bite Me community's got their own community over there. It's like have their own webpage, right? So they make the rules, and it's like, yeah, there's a little bit of you get a membership, but it's pretty affordable. And that just keeps the bots and the bullshit out, because they're not going to pay a membership, right? Even if it's nominal. And I hate to call it a safe space, because I mean that's what they're trying to do there. Maybe there might be some, but I think it's a more safer space than Instagram or YouTube, where you have to, shudder to say the cannabis word, you might get demonetized. So. I don't know. I like the idea of it, because I just look at it in my head like, we can't play your game because you have you own the platform. Fuck you, we'll go do our own platform. I like that.
And I think especially with the Bite Me Cannabis Club, that is where a lot more of the cannabis content will be focused, because of the lack of censorship on their own webpage, on their own forum and platform. I think nowadays it's ridiculous how much everybody is just shut down. I mean, you go on Instagram and it's another new account and it's like, oh, got shut down again, guys. Sorry. And it's
I had a buddy DM me yesterday that has had, his same account for I don't know how many years, 4 or 5 years, something like that. He just DMs me his name just backwards, And it is what it is. They got me. You know what I mean? Here I am. Like, damn, dude. And if you don't have like a Rolodex going, you just would have no idea,
Yeah, that's rough. I'm, knock on wood, I've been happy to never have to deal with that, but shit. I would probably just go to a different platform. I don't know that I would make another account and be like, all right, I'm gonna do this all over again. I might just be like, nah, see you guys, I'll be at, whatever platform.
Yeah.
Send me an email.
Whatever platform's next. Well, I'm sure you can find us there too, wherever that might be. Whether it's X, Y, or Z. We'll be there.
Blue Sky. X or Blue Sky.
Do they is there like streaming availabilities on both those?
I know you can share video on X because Jack Greenstock says that he shares the cheap homegrown on there all the time.
Okay.
But I don't know if you live stream there.
I think you have to be I think you have to pay for the subscription to do like the live streaming there. I know you can post videos and all that stuff. I know there's limitations to everything, but with the variable show at a certain point, all of a sudden my account wasn't streaming to X, but Superior's was, and the only difference was he was paying for the premium or whatever, like monthly thing, And I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm done streaming on X because I'm not paying for that.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
It'll be on YouTube.
You have to stream live. People be happy to watch at their own convenience.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like for me personally, I have consumed a lot of cannabis content on YouTube over the years. I would say probably a majority of it was just through headphones, not actually watching it. There's so much trimming and garden work and, doing this and that around. It's just like, you're just listening for the most part. So I've
stepped back. I've had, some things take my attention away from it. So I am excited to put out more videos and things like that. But I really think pulling back some of the production is just for my own sanity. I mean, what's the point if I'm trying to do it? And martial artists, I really appreciate that. I mean, it doesn't need to be a big, successful external thing. It doesn't need to be something that's monetized and advertised and all of that. Like, I'm doing it because I like it. And if I don't do it every week, that's okay. I can slow down. I don't need to stick myself to a damn regimen and schedule myself, to the damn minute every day. And that's what it was kind of feeling like, where I was like, oh, I'm running late on this one. I didn't get it out and I still have to edit it. And I didn't like that. I didn't like how much pressure I put on myself right away. And so it made me want to stop. Instead, I'm taking a step back and I'm figuring out a better way to do it.
Smart and great advice. And I think probably more of us need to do that more often. Cheers, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night and a great week. And we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Cheers, everybody.
Much love, guys.